In today's episode, we're going to be turning limestone into concrete using the wet concrete recipe. We're then going to ship it by belt and by train.
Our mega steel factory.
To produce 225 encased beams per minute. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, my fellow friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In the last episode, we worked on this amazing large steel factory that used a bunch of alternative recipes. Today, we're going to take that steel ingot and we're going to make something cool out of it. But before that, we're going to go ahead and unlock some of the Update 7 things. And with Update 7, we have a new milestone, which I've already started to collect resources for. And that is the tier 4 blueprint recipes. So we've got the blueprint designer, we got the blueprint gun. I'm not sure what we'll do with that, but we'll see. And then, a bunch of milestone costs, which is the normal thing to do. Let's stuff it full of the necessary bits and bops. And away we go. Hit what I thought was the last shiny red button. But now we've got a new one, and we've unlocked blueprints, which is fantastic.
You sound so excited.
Oh, be quiet, future boom. All right, along with Update 7, we have new belts to play with. We're going to unlock the ceiling conveyor mounts, which is going to be amazing. We get to try those out. So let's do that. Add to cart. And also, as I was pointed out, I do not own a coffee cup. So we're going to add that to the bit. And actually, while we're at it, why don't we add a fix-it cart as well? Since we're here, we got extra bits. Oh, baby. Ooh. Let's take a look at our coffee cup. We haven't had one all season. This is our first coffee cup of the season. Ah, tasty.
Oh, coffee.
All right, to kick things off with wet concrete, we need limestone. So we're going to slap down a bunch of minor Mark IIIs. Like so, and these are all going to kind of point over this way, like so. We're going to end up bringing all of this over to this skyway or busway, which is going to end up over on the water. We're also going to bring in some more limestone from a couple locations, some over here by our steel factory and some over here by our other main factory. So we'll get to that in a bit, but let's just slap a bunch of these down. And in order to move the necessary limestone to and fro, and the cement at the end as well, we need to get things from over there to here via the train. Now, it's pretty close, and normally I probably would just belt things. It's not that far, but I put it to vote in chat at twitch.tv/boombangcrash, and that's what people voted for. So we're doing trains, whatever. Anyways, when I first was doing this on stream, we had a little bug, but now it's going to work. Oh, we're out of concrete. See, this is exactly why we need a wet concrete factory. And now you can see the train is connected. And as it comes through, it's going to loop around this way. And then it's going to go into the station. And then it's going to unload the limestone. And then we're going to load the concrete onto the last car, because I think we're only going to need the one. We'll see. And that's going to get shipped off and back towards the station over here. In addition, we have a second route, which is going to come in from over this side for future expansion, essentially, when we need to bring in a little bit more limestone to maximize our wet concrete. But this thing is going to be ridiculous. It's going to produce an insane amount, like over 6,000 wet concrete, or concrete. It's just, I think it's overkill just a little bit. But anyhow, this is what it looks like. We're going to have a little bit of a little bit of routing. We're going to put in some signals and some stuff later once I've, kind of tested things out. And as you can see, our other station wraps around our buildings, makes for some interesting structural designs. And we've got our limestone nodes pumping into this station. And then we'll also feed back the final concrete back into our main steel factory for the encased industrial beams down the road. So we have all the limestone coming in now. We've attached all the nodes. We've connected up all of our nodes on the other side of the train station. So everything is coming to our little wet concrete island. Now we have to bring it over and start putting it together. So this recipe basically is built around the concept of maximizing both a Mark II 600 meter cubed per minute pipe and a max belt speed of 780, or a Mark V belt. So essentially 6 times 120, 780, 6 times 100, 600 works out perfectly. So we're building these into blocks of 6 refineries with the alternative wet concrete recipe. Anyways, so it brings in a ton, it requires 780 limestone, 600 water. And we are doing 4 blocks on each side for a total of 8, which brings us to 48 refineries, and they will produce a lot. So if we take a look here, 48 times 80 is 3840, which is perfect. Is exactly what we're looking for. It's exactly what we need to feed the beast back home at the other station. You know the one from the previous clip, the one that's over there, you remember? Do you remember? Because it's right there. So we got to feed it. Belts and pipes are now connected, as are the water extractors, or water wheels as I like to call them. And with these guys, we're actually overclocking them to 250%. And this is just essentially to cut down on the number of water extractors we need. Each one produces 300, which is extremely convenient for us and makes life easy. All we need to do here is actually just combine 2 pipes together. So 2 water extractors, 600 total, 1 pipe comes out. That pipe can then feed 1 block of 6. And as we take a look here, as we go up and hover a little bit better, you can see it's a nice clean design. You have however many it is, 16 of the water extractors, 16 pipes coming out, merge them down to 8. They all go into 8 blocks, or 4 blocks of 2. And then, yeah, it's just nice, simple, clean, uses a ton of extra power, but whatever, we don't care about power, so it's all good. And now we can go ahead and start connecting in our limestone. Limestone's connected, and we also have concrete connected now. As you can see, we're starting to bring it back towards the main base, and we're producing a ton, an absolute ton. We're only actually going to need about 50% of this, if even that. We're also starting to think about how we're gonna make this look good, because this thing is insane. I mean, look at all those belts. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. It doesn't make any sense, but look at all the pretty lights. And as I have my monthly shower, we can watch the train bringing in some concrete. We've added another station at the end, and you can see the belt line is bringing it in right down here. It is being fed into the bottom of our steel factory. Now, here's the cool thing. We're getting into blueprints, and we're taking advantage of making this factory expansion, because placing down a bunch of constructors, it just takes time, and it's one of the things that the blueprint machine is really designed to help with. So as you can see, I've laid out what I call like a 4x2 matrix here. Essentially, you have 1 belt down the middle with a bunch of splitters that spits out whatever it is you need to construct. In this case, we're going to be doing pipes from steel ingots. Nice thing is you can preset the recipes in the blueprint, and that gets saved, so you don't have to then go back and change things. And I think this was featured. This is like probably the first thing everybody's going to make. I think it was also featured in the demonstration video that Coffee Stain put out. And basically, this is what it looks like: belts through, belts out. So maybe one difference between how you might do it or how I'm doing it is you might have the belt output go that way with the mergers, right? Your choice. I'm bringing it back to where it starts. I kind of like to have everything kind of end up in a center line, in a center bus here. So it goes out and then it comes back. And that's it. We're going to replicate this a bunch of times. And that's what we've done here, as you can see. And so it's nice. You can just slap the blueprint down. So for example, the blueprint will be available here, and you can just select it, and then you can just place it down. And the nice thing is the blueprints do snap. So they do, if you hold control, you can actually snap them to the end of your line, in theory, if it was working properly. But maybe if I just do it here and then clicky, you're embarrassing me, game. There it goes. There it goes. It snapped. And I just created a bunch of stuff. This is what I wish I had an undo button. But anyways, you can see that saves a lot of time, probably about 10-15 minutes overall because you can get pretty efficient doing it by hand. So let's talk a little bit more about what you're looking at here. This is actually where the encased beams are going to be created, and we're using the pipe recipe. So basically we're bringing steel in from the factory that we created last. These are smelters, furnaces, smelters, foundries. Neither correct. Woo. The foundry here is spitting out a lot of ingots. We're then feeding those ingots into 3 floors. That's right, we're doing 3 of these floors, and I believe it's 13. There's like 26 and 52 and so on and so forth. There's going to be 1 more floor after this. We're then turning those into pipes, which we're then feeding into these 10 overclocked assemblers. The bad numbers, poor math. It's close as I could get to 52. Basically, these are putting out, each side of these is putting out 260 of the rods per minute, or pipes, sorry. And so essentially that adds up to 520, and that's what we've got here. We're then bringing in 370 concrete per minute to produce 75 rounded up encased industrial beams. Again, this is replicated 3 times. Now, we kind of tried to make this nice and tight and neat. So as you can see, the layout is like this. Oh, I guess I should go over the alternate recipe too. This is encased industrial pipe, which is the alternate recipe to this beam. Normally you use beams, right? But this is a little bit more efficient. And so yeah, anyways, down here, you can see it's nice and neat and tidy. It's very compact design, and it stacks beautifully. So you can see we bring the pipes in from over here, they come in underground, they feed in, and then they go up, and everything feeds up into the assemblers, and then the outputs will come out and down here, and then we can just send them on their merry way back to our storage facility. Now, for those who haven't worked with the Blueprint Designer, it's really easy. All you need to do is come up to this terminal, you choose the name, description, you can set a directory, you can set the icon to whatever you want, you can set the color to whatever you want. You can load blueprints. For example, if we want to look at this one, we can load this guy. It'll actually place it into here. You can edit it, you can resave it. If you don't like it, save over top of something, not a problem, or just clear the designer. Well, after about 10 to 20 hours of work, we're finally done this section of the factory, which is great. And if you liked it, you know what to do. Bang on the like button down below, crash that subscribe button. As always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. My name is Boom, and I'm out.